as a teacher. In the last few minutes,
there have been reports on American networks about another crime scene, possibly in New Jersey. Paul Vance reluctant to confirm anything to do with that, but he did say that they were liaising and having some assistance from the New Jersey authorities. That may or may not relate to a brother of the chief suspect. We're waiting for confirmation of that.
You see there are police lines behind me. Police are keeping residents out, reporters out. There are more than a dozen law enforcement vehicles here. We did see an ambulance leaving the scene about 15 minutes ago. And what we can tell you from neighbors is this. They say that about 11 o'clock, one neighbor told us police came and told her that she had to evacuate right away, left their home. Some people have been able to be escorted back to their homes, but then leaving again. This is an active crime scene. It's unclear when residents will be able to return to their homes. In terms of what people are saying about Ryan Lanza, I talked to several people here who live in the area. They said they were unfamiliar with the...
We've just lost our connection with Mary Snow, but we'll reconnect with her. We're getting this horrific information now from a source close to the investigation, David, and I want to be precise with our viewers. The suspect in this case, Ryan Lanza, in his 20s from Newtown, Connecticut. We're told that the suspect's mother was a teacher at this small school, the Sandy Hook Elementary School, and she, we are told by this source, has been shot and killed in this incident. What a horrific development. All of a sudden, we're beginning to get a connection between Ryan Lanza, the shooter in this case. He himself died at the scene. We don't know precisely the circumstances, how he died, but we know he's dead. Ryan Lanza went into the school, started shooting children and adults. Close to 30 people have been killed. We're told maybe 18 or 20 of them children, and now we're told that Ryan Lanza's mother, a teacher at this elementary school, was shot and killed herself. Susan Candiotti is on the scene for us as well. Susan, are you getting more information on what happened?
Yes, Wolf, I have some new information to report now from two law enforcement sources that among the dead is the mother of the shooter in this case. The mother of the shooter is also dead. She is a teacher at the school. Now, we don't have confirmed whether she was found dead at the school or at some other location, but two sources tell us that she too is among the dead. Also, some additional new information to report to you, Wolf, is that the shooter, Ryan Lanza, is 24 years old. To remind our viewers, he was found dead at the scene in a classroom, and additionally, he was found with at least 2 weapons.
I'm told by a federal law enforcement source that most of those killed were killed in the classroom of the alleged shooter's mother, who was a teacher at the school, Nancy Lanza, and that he went into that classroom, and again, this is according to police at the scene, reporting back to federal law enforcement officials here, shot and killed his mother, and then shot and killed students. And this source saying most of those killed were killed in that classroom, and she was a kindergarten teacher at the school, Wolf. That is, again, the incomprehensible information we're getting as more and more details of the investigation emerge.
We're getting this information, John, as well from our justice producer, Terry Frieden. And let me be precise in what he has learned. A senior law enforcement official familiar with the investigation, he tells us, says a brother of the shooter, the alleged shooter, was found dead in the residential location searched in Hoboken, New Jersey. That's across the river from New York City. In addition, the mother of the alleged shooter was found dead in the elementary school. The father, who was divorced from Lanza's mother, lives elsewhere in Connecticut, the official said. Official declined to provide further details. So, John, now we're learning not only was the mother found dead, as you've been reporting, inside the small elementary school, the Sandy Hook Elementary School, and many of the children who were killed were in her classroom. She was a teacher at this school, but the brother of the alleged shooter was found dead in a residential location in Hoboken, New Jersey. This is getting obviously very, very even more awful than you can imagine.
And you were speaking, Wolf, I'm sorry, just a short time ago to that school security expert who predicted something similar to this. He said as more details emerge, you are likely to find a profile of somebody who was having very troubled issues in his or her family life. We now know the shooter, of course, is a 24-year-old, I believe, young man, Ryan Lanza, according to police at the scene. And you have from Terry Frieden's reporting, a brother killed. His mother, as I just noted, was a teacher at the school, and it is believed that she was the primary target, according to federal law enforcement officials, and that he shot her and then shot children in her classroom at the school. Most of the deaths, I'm told by that law enforcement source, occurred there in that one concentrated area of the school. And the police will try to put this together, and obviously there will be a detailed investigation into what thing or what things may have been the trigger here for this horrific event. And that is part of the investigative detail they will try to put together. And it's always the big question. The president just asked it quite poignantly, and I think parents around the country, as well as all those law enforcement officials we're showing on our screens at the scene today, will be asking a very short question. Why?
And we don't know. We have no idea, although I suspect we'll learn a lot more in the coming minutes, hours, and certainly days. John, stand by. We are now told, according to law enforcement authorities, this suspected gunman shot his mother, a teacher at the school, then opened fire on children in that classroom and others inside. We're told close to 30 people have been confirmed killed, maybe 18 or 20 of them children. We're also told that the mother of Ryan Lanza, Nancy Lanza, was shot and killed in this classroom, as well as earlier the brother of Ryan Lanza in a residential area of Hoboken, New Jersey.
I spent a lot of time in the media trying to figure out why random acts of violence occur, why a kid in Oregon seems disconnected from reality for a while and does senseless things. This is something different. This is sinister. This is somebody purposefully planning, going, killing his family, and killing small children. That's the world we live in right now. We live in a world where people feel justified in pushing somebody on the subway tracks and killing small children. This has got to change. This has got to change. We all have to be aware of this. Our culture is sick. They are sick amongst us, and we have to begin to address this.
It looks, Dr. Drew, like as if what happened was this individual, Ryan Lanza, 24 years old, was in Hoboken, and this is it looks like the pieces of the puzzle are beginning to come together. Shot and killed his brother, then drove about 80 miles from Hoboken to Newtown, Connecticut, went inside this small elementary school and shot his mother, and then opened fire on children. This is something, and you can imagine driving from Hoboken to Newtown, Connecticut, thinking about what he's about to do. He was well armed. He had assault weapons. He had a lot of ammunition, and he's obviously dead. So we're not going to get his side of the story unless he leaves some sort of evidence, a note or something.
This is what we know at this point about the timeline of the shooting as reported by law enforcement officials and witnesses, and the layout of the school as best we can piece it all together. 9:30 in the morning. Classes had been underway for about a half hour. More than 600 students and about 50 faculty members are inside the building. In addition to that, there is a meeting that's just been convened by some of the school officials, including the principal, in a room somewhere right up here, about 7 of them all gathered in one room. About 9:40. 10 minutes later, as best we can make it out again, that's when the gunman appears to have entered the building. How? We don't know. They had a new security system right up here that might have kept him out. Not sure what happened with that. Police spent a lot of time looking at a car parked right out here in the fire lane, suggesting that if that were his car.
Clinton in 1994 introduced sort of restricted bans on owning certain guns that had a clip, for example, of more than 10 rounds.
And people say, why do you need automatic weapons for shooting animals, etc.? But in this instance, we're talking about a couple of pistols, aren't we?
Yeah.
There was a loaded rifle on the backseat of the car. It doesn't appear to have been used.
Clinton in 1994 introduced sort of restricted bans on owning certain guns that had a clip, for example, of more than 10 rounds.
And people say, why do you need automatic weapons for shooting animals, etc.?
Well,